It's hard to remember what the motor world was before the tech mogul Elon Musk reshaped it, but we all have to start somewhere, and before the South African, we had the Brit Jeremy Clarkson, aka Jezza, and apparently, it was their beef that started the whole EV revolution. In this video, we'll look at the events of the whole beef and its consequences, so without further ado, let's get right into it. First up, how are the two connected? As of now, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world with a net worth of over $200 billion. He has various sources of income for this, such as his project SpaceX and Tesla, and his newest endeavor, Neuralink. We won't be looking at the brain implants that will probably be some of sci-fi type threat, though who knows, maybe we'll discuss that in another video. Instead, we'll be looking at how Tesla changed the whole narrative of electric vehicles, and it turns out, it all started from a one-on-one with Jeremy Clarkson. Jeremy Clarkson was the go-to guy in the world of cars. Whatever he said about a certain car became its reputation. There was no denying it or contesting it. What was the phrase again? A word as strong as the Bible, like a car guru. The Brit, who's also known as Jezza, is a pretty prominent figure in British television, and most of you know him for his hit TV series Top Gear, and it doesn't ring a bell, then you remember that meme and the tagline, "Sometimes my genius is almost frightening." Yep, that guy. So how did he become involved with the whole EV world? We all know that his TV show always has a lot of guest stars coming onto the show. It just so happens that in one of these interviews, the tech entrepreneur was set to make an appearance, which isn't a surprise given how much he loves to appear on TV. Take his cameo in Iron Man 2 as an example. How many of you noticed that? Next, which car was Elon showcasing on Top Gear? The year is 2007, and Tesla's ready to showcase its latest project on the biggest car program in the world, and it also would be doing up against the harshest criticism in the entire industry. That episode premiered in December 2008 in the show's 12th season and featured a pretty familiar name to modern car enthusiasts. The Tesla Roadster was pretty similar to what the upcoming model of it will be, innovative, industry-leading, and most important of all, completely electric. However, it wasn't a project known by everyone, but rather a project that was nothing less than a vision for the future, and all it needed was funding to kickstart the whole program. So in hopes of this, Elon went to a place he knew would be watched over by car lovers all over the world. However, the model he presented wasn't the one he wanted. There were many changes he wanted to do, such as an automatic gearbox, because this could have given the car a more organic and natural feel. The prototype also faced a lot of trouble in other sections as well, such as issues in the wheelbase and chassis stiffness. So then how did this flawed prototype kickstart the EV-lution? Well, by being a Tesla. Moving on, what was Jezza's role? Jezza, when first heard about the car, he gave a reply that only he could think of: brown rice eco cars, like only a man like him could think of something as weird and random as that. But after all, it was just like a movie when Elon being the protagonist and Jezza being the barrier, that was surpassed in the end. When the drag race started, things got intense, and the Brit critic knew he had underestimated the South African and his electric beast. The Roadster had an acceleration that went from 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. If you're not a car geek, then well, let us explain how significant that stat is. The prototype had this stat in 2008, and now even in 2022, almost 14 years later, it is still a stat that only the top 10% of cars in the world have. Though Clarkson, just like all the other British critics such as Simon Cowell and Gordon Ramsay, wasn't going to let the car slide without giving his signature harsh criticism. The first problem he had with the car was with the car's handling. Ironic given how the car and Jezza were pretty much similar when he came to structuring the car. Was light thanks to the carbon fiber body, but weighed the batteries, meaning thin at one end and big and fat at the other. Yeah, does sound like our Jezza. Apart from the Clarkson took jabs at the vehicle charging mechanism, saying that it would be at least 16 hours for the whole car to charge, meaning that Tesla's claim of taking a couple of hours were pretty far-fetched. Jezza really doesn't hold back. Now, how did all this cause a revolution? The episode, and in particular the scene about the charging problem, sent the Tesla CEO into a rage and wasn't just going to sit back and let a giant of a man take shots at his car, his vision, his dream. Musk took the matter to court, with Tesla's team accusing the Brit critic of blatant lies. They seem to have really taken the news to heart. However, the case didn't work out in the end, as the court dismissed the case in favor of the BBC. Oh, and that's not it. Clarkson also became a founding member of this kind of journalist blacklist. What's that? Well, it's a list of all the journalists or media personalities that Tesla generally avoids or doesn't work with anymore. Taking criticism isn't for everyone, but you're still probably thinking that how on earth did this benefit the company? Well, it's not that hard if you know how the media works. Before the episode, no one knew about the company, and yeah, it's true that featuring on the show got them a lot of publicity, but it's still nothing compared to the lawsuit. A normal episode of Top Gear is big enough, but if you add the drama of a lawsuit into the mix, well, then those viewership numbers multiply. Oh, and the comments made by Clarkson probably also motivated Elon to prove the Brit wrong, and maybe it would have never happened if Jezza hadn't said some harsh words. See, everything happens for a reason. Other news, first up, Elon Musk might have played a hand in the iPhone 14 satellite feature. We all saw the latest and greatest form of iPhone. Well, we kinda saw it a couple years ago, and honestly, it's the same phone. However, the satellite feature wasn't something the previous iPhones had. It's honestly pretty cool. So basically, this Apple event was focused on how Apple and its products have helped save lives, and though this was a marketing campaign aimed at the Apple Watch, it still had some ripples in the iPhone universe. The new features allow you to call using satellite connectivity just in case you don't have any signals and are in life or death situation then. Well, Apple has your back. So how did Elon get involved? Apparently he liked the whole idea behind it and decided to allow Apple to use his Starlink connectivity, which is another form of his income source that we didn't go over in the video before. He's probably doing this for the long-term benefits because this call feature is only free for the first 2 years, and we can only wonder how much they're going to cost for a satellite call. Well, Elon seems to have guessed it and definitely wants a piece of that action. There's a reason he's the richest man in the world right now. Next up, let's look at the latest reason behind Elon Musk dropping the Twitter deal. We've seen many of his income sources in the video, so let's not go over an almost source that was missed out on due to a failed negotiation. A couple of months ago, Elon shocked the world by revealing that he was going to buy the social media app Twitter. But sadly, things didn't work out due to the number of bots on the platform. Kind of ironic coming from a man who actually makes robots, another source of income. He revealed that the termination letter sent to Twitter accused the social media company of not informing Musk about a multi-million-dollar deal with the security chief Peter Zatko, and according to Musk's lawyers, this is enough for them to walk away from the deal. No tolerance policy, huh? And to wrap things up, James Clarkson opens up about his alarming accident. During his grand tour, the Brit critic and his co-stars were involved in a terrible accident in Norway that had them rushed to the hospital. Clarkson revealed that it was an eye-opening moment for him and a sort of reality check. Will this stop him from making his sarcastic and controversial jokes? Maybe for some time, but we're sure there's no parting from that. But hopefully this will make you guys drive safer. Like, come on, even an experienced driver like him can get into accidents, so please drive safe. That's a wrap for this video. What's your take on the whole Elon vs. Clarkson situation? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.